everyone, and welcome back to Don't Open That Door. I'm Justin, the mashed potatoes.
I'm Nico, and sweet potato pie is better than pumpkin pie. Don't at me. Actually, feel free to, you cowards.
Ah.
I'm Dan, the green bean casserole.
And as you could probably tell from our roles this week, we would like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving because we know that's coming up this week. And in honor of the holiday, we're reviewing a very special movie. Dan, what are we reviewing this week?
This week, we're reviewing ThanksKilling.
You're goddamn right. Directed by Jordan Downey, this stars Aaron Ringheiser Carlson as Billy, Natasha Cordova as Ali, Lance Predmore as Johnny, Lindsay Anderson as Kristen, Ryan Francis as Darren, and Jordan Downey as the voice of the turkey. You'll find out about the turkey later. So this movie opens in 1621 with a topless pilgrim woman running from an unseen assailant. We eventually see that she is being pursued by a demonic turkey. Now you know the turkey I was talking about. It makes a quick joke as to her endowment before killing her with a tomahawk.
Was that like a dowry of land or something? Or like had she recently gotten a bag of money? What was the endowment?
Bags of sand. But
what? That was your choice?
I don't know what else
Please
to
go
say,
on.
bro. The movie then cuts to 2008, where we see 5 college students, Kristen, Johnny, Darren, Ali, and Billy, heading home for Thanksgiving break. The group ride together, and when their car breaks down, they decide to camp out for the night. So, Nico, what happens when you camp out for the night in this town?
Well, apparently they're just ready to get drunk as hell at any time because that's what they decide to do. But afterwards, they pass the time by having a little bit of story time. So Darren tells everyone the story of a Native American shaman who fought back against white colonizers. And he uses powers of necromancy to create a turkey that would go on a killing spree, specifically of white people, once every 505 years. Nope, don't do the math. You're already thinking too much. We see a quick scene of a dog that pees on the turkey's talisman afterwards, reviving it to go on a killing spree once again. The turkey then kills the dog after a run-in with the dog's hermit owner and leaves. And at this point, Kristen sees the turkey, but nobody believes her.
Well, I'm not sure I would either, but Dan, what happens?
Well, the following day, the group make it to their hometown and split up and spend some time with their families. Johnny spends some brief amount of time with his family before the turkey strikes, killing both of his parents. Johnny meets up with the group, minus Ali, letting them know that turkey is real, and the group heads to go find Ali because they think that she might be in danger. But they're too late as turkey has struck again, killing her.
Damn.
Turkey's fast. So, Nico, what's the countermeasure the group decides to do?
The group decides to head to Kristen's house because her father has a lot of books, and one of those might have a way to defeat the turkey. It's incredible. Once again, though, the turkey is beating them to the punch, and he kills Kristen's father, but wears his face, which incredibly tricks the group into thinking that he's actually Kristen's father. The group gets to reading Kristen's father's books all the while, clearly seeing this fucking buzzard with human skin on his face, just like, okay. And Darren finds a book that actually details a way to defeat the turkey. The book says that the turkey can be killed if its talisman is taken away from it, but the rest of the passage is unfortunately coded in mathematical sequences, and Darren needs time to translate it. But driven by hunger, Billy searches the house for food and finds the body of Kristen's father. That really makes it sound like he's about to eat Kristen's father, Just.
Hungry.
Just a little note there. The turkey then realizes that his cover is blown, but Billy manages to grab him. And the group manages to remove the turkey's talisman, thankfully, but the turkey manages to escape before the group can figure out how to kill him precisely. Thankfully, Darren cracks the code and learns how to kill the turkey, and they got to chant a prayer in reverse and burn the turkey at the stake. At this point, Billy leaves the house but falls prey to one of the turkey's plots and meets his demise. The group discover his body and they swear vengeance.
All right, Dan, why don't you go ahead and take us home on this one?
So the group manages to find the turkey and they chant the prayer in reverse, robbing it of its invincibility. But the turkey manages to run away once more. But the hermit from earlier shows up and shotguns the turkey at point blank range, killing it and blowing it into a waste bin. Johnny, Kristen, and Darren manage to head back to Kristen's house to watch movies, but Darren is soon killed. But it turns out that the turkey was shot into a waste bin that contained radioactive waste, which manages to restore it to life. Johnny is fatally maimed by the turkey, but Kristen manages to set it on fire and burn it in a bonfire, killing it. The movie ends with a family having Thanksgiving dinner. The turkey suddenly flies off the plate, coming to life and wondering if the movie will have a sequel. In space.
Well, what a wild movie. We got to take this one all the way from the top. So, looks, the visuals, if you will. Nico, for a movie that was really, apparently the budget was $3,500. How'd this one look?
This movie, it was like making love visually. It's like I was looking at the ceiling of the Vatican. It's like I was looking at the Mona Lisa for the first time. My eyes pure and unclouded from the modern taints of this world. This movie, it has given me hope where I once had nothing.
I think we watched different movies.
Kind of looks like shit.
Hey, you know what I will say, though? I thought the movie had actually pretty good practical effects. Given the budget they had, some of the kills...
Surprisingly, yeah.
Like when the turkey bursts out of Billy's stomach, immediately before that, Billy picks up what's supposed to be like a chicken he found off the ground, like he was playing Castlevania or something like that, and he just found like a ham in the walls. And so he picks up this, I mean, you couldn't get faker looking. It looks like somebody literally drew it, and he just like picked up a drawing and ate it. And then the turkey like bursts out of his guts, and like it's like, rah! And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good, actually. And I did enjoy some of the blood as well. I thought it was pretty decent. So while there weren't too many kills, I did like that side of it personally. And don't get me wrong, though. Some of the framing is a little bit awkward at times. Some of, I guess, the shots they chose to do linger a bit too long in like one scene or another. It's clearly not like super duper professional, but if listeners will remember when we talked about Aquarium of the Dead, I think it was like the Zombies movie that happened at the same time as Zombies, I guess. That one had serious issues with the camera work, and I couldn't really forgive that. This I totally can, because it kind of plays a little bit into the comedy element as well, and this movie is definitely comedic. Dan, what'd you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you in some cases where the practical effects were like surprisingly good, but I think that this is not a movie to analyze like the scenes or anything. I mean,
No, definitely not.
Clearly a very poorly filmed movie, and a lot of it is just very poor, which is part of the charm, I guess. So I thought it did a good job of being surprisingly good at points, but most of the movie was just so bad it was like kind of good.
Fair enough. Now, sound-wise, I don't want you to stop talking quite yet. How did you feel about that recurring theme that would bump in sometimes in the movie?
They had a few themes. They definitely had Hard Scary Hip Hop Beat 2009.
I was about to say that.
That was definitely in there. They had a couple like other like themes in there as well that were pretty good. And I like some of the like over the top Foley that they add in there too. I thought was pretty funny. There's a point where Justin mentioned before our podcast when we were kind of planning, Kristen's father is like sitting at a dinner table with the turkey, and the turkey has its like mouth in a like cup of coffee or something. And it's just like, or whatever. Like it's just like really loud and obnoxious, but funny. And just a lot of like the little shit like that was pretty funny.
I can't believe we just did that.
Nico, something has distressed you, but can you tell me about the sounds in this movie?
Yeah, and one thing that is just part of this movie's charm is the sound of the dialogue. Part of it a lot of it sounds forced, but intentionally. And that really does add to a lot of the sort of the pace and the levity of it. It's done in a way that lets you know, like, it's almost like this movie is satirizing other bad movies, maybe. I'm not sure, but it's just fun. It's fun. And the turkey sounds fucking great. Every time he was on scene, I was just in absolute tears.
All right. So I want to talk a little bit more about Thanksgiving. It's probably the biggest non-religious holiday in America, yeah?
4th of July, maybe.
Oh, fourth. Yeah, true.
Maybe Halloween too. I don't know if Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I might have fucked up there, but it's a big holiday in the United States.
Yeah.
Typically one associated with family, obviously turkey, lots of food. It's something that most everyone can get into. So I got to ask, did you think that it would be possible to make a horror movie about Thanksgiving? Did you think it could be done?
Yeah. I didn't think it would be done this way, but yeah.
That's fair. And I guess it almost had to be comedy, right? Because I can't imagine another kind of, quote unquote Thanksgiving movie that, unless it was like a serial killer kills a bunch of people during a Thanksgiving dinner or something, I guess that could be done. But something that leans so heavily into the holiday.
The Invitation is a Thanksgiving movie.
Hey, they
Yeah.
never said what season it took place in.
Yeah.
But I do think that, to a certain extent, the only way you could really have a turkey be the killer would be to introduce the kind of comedy aspect to it. Now, before we get a little bit deeper into all the things the movie did right, I do want to take a quick second and talk about some of the things that the movie did, kind of maybe a little bit wrong. So obviously this is us looking back at the movie with, 2021 eyes. And I'm sure people, a decade from the future.
We have so many goddamn eyes. 2021 of them. This fucking eldritch abomination just in the cut, like, I can see through you and everything.
Yeah, bro, that's Shin Godzilla's 8th form.
Oh, yo, deep fucking reference, bro.
Exactly. But, I think people, the next generation looking back at some of the movies we have today might say the same thing about some things we do as well. But generally speaking, I think there are some scenes in the movie that viewers might find to be, distasteful, particularly with some of the language that's used, some of the words and terminology that get used in the movie. There are one or two scenes and references that I would consider to be kind of racist. And there's also a somewhat infamous scene with Allie that is, in essence, a scene containing sexual assault. It's entirely ridiculous, mind you, but still kind of like that. So I think that is something for, viewers of the movie to take into account because, sensibilities were a lot different. Jesus Christ, 2008 was like 12, 13 years ago, guys. How's that make you feel?
About to be 14. How's that make you feel? Because we're getting close to the end of the year.
Are we? Oh my gosh. I couldn't tell. Not playing. That's fucking wild though, son. That is still wild regardless.
You wouldn't have been 14, bro.
No, I think he was telling me it would be 14 years.
Yeah, and like...
Oh, I thought you said I'd be 14. I was like, what?
I was about to say, you're about as good at math as Billy is in this movie.
Yeah, right.
Or Darren, or whatever the hell his name was. But I guess got to ask you guys real quick. I know that this movie has a fair amount of problematic stuff going on, but how big of a detraction did you think that was from the overall film? And do you think somebody nowadays could watch it and still get some kind of enjoyment out of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's interesting because when some of those phrases and things were thrown around, I like cringed a little bit. But I think that a lot of this movie is cringy for other reasons. I don't think that it took away too much of the movie just because this isn't like I wouldn't even consider this like a so bad it's good movie for me personally. So like I don't know. It definitely made me cringe on some of those phrases and whatnot, but I don't think it was a super big issue to me.
Mm-hmm. Nico, where's your stance at?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I don't like in like any of my movies necessarily, but it's something that's just there. It's not ideal. When I was watching it, I definitely did notice, and just like there's also like a couple slurs thrown around. I'm just like, not a fan of this. But the rest of the movie, in my viewing experience, was just so gut bustingly fucking funny that it just overshadowed it.
That is fair. And I do think as well that, I think it's important to maintain like I guess like a little bit of a veil of honesty or whatever like that, like appreciating a movie for its flaws, not appreciating the flaws, but like pointing out the flaws while appreciating the things that it's done correctly.
Sure, yeah.
And I think kind of keeping with that last part about what the movie's done correctly, pretty apparent to audiences, kind of when we started this and just kind of getting into it, it's a pretty funny movie. How does it play on that horror comedy kind of style so well? What does it do? Dan, what made you laugh? Like, why is this movie good to you? What was funny to you, I should say?
I liked a lot of the one-liners that people had, whether it was Turkey or just the other characters, or like near the end, I think Johnny is like, he says something like, I'm really grateful for this experience.
Oh, he did say that shit.
Later, he's like, I may have lost my parents, but I gained a girlfriend. And just like really stupid shit like that. That just made me crack up. And for me, it was a lot of the one-liners that were funny to me.
For me, I think it was more so just like my favorite kind of comedy is really subtle underlying comedy. Like,
Which this is not.
well, I'm the type of guy who like, even in like the friend group or something like that, I'll say something and like not everybody might immediately get it, or not everyone might immediately like jump onto what I was saying. But if somebody does, I like that a lot. I think it's really funny and cool. And this movie has so many like jokes that are not rubbed in your faces jokes. But if you thought about it for a second, it's like, wait a second. Nah, fuck you. Because there's one where a character who's supposedly so smart can't add 500 to 1600 because he would realize, because they were like, oh, has it been 505 years since 1621? And I'm like, no, it hasn't. And one of the characters is like, yep, it'll be 505 years and 45 seconds. And if you weren't thinking about it, you'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But like, no, it doesn't. And, there's just like so many different scenes where it's like, they even kind of riff and make fun of like the whole stereotype of like, oh, this kid couldn't live up to his dad's expectations because he wasn't the first string quarterback. So his dad was like not acknowledging him, like not trying to talk to him, not trying to be around him. And then all of a sudden he's like, Dad, I'm the first string quarterback now. And he's like, I always knew you could do it. You're my son. I love you. You're the greatest gift to me ever. And I'm just like, bruh. It's like so on the face, but at the same time, there are actually movies that do that kind of thing though. And so I'm just like, I don't know. That's why I found it to be funny. But Nico, what really, tickled your tummy here?
So the stuff that really got to me was just that from my perspective, it looks like I think you can kind of tell when people are having fun with what they're doing. And it looks like they were having fun with what they were doing, especially towards the end. There's a scene where Darren, is it that he finally dies and gets visited by this sort of like angelic, was it Billy or something?
Yeah.
And there's like the scene preceding that had the ever lovely Dead Best Friend song, which is an actual bit that my roommate Alex looked over and said, if you die before me, I'm singing this at your funeral. So honestly, just the irreverent bits for me were what did it.
True enough. Now, one other thing we can talk about, because I talked a little bit about the parody nature of the movie, we've got, our standard kind of characters in horror in this movie. So, we've got the jock, we've got the kind of, the virginal final girl almost. We've got the girl who has, slept with people before. We've got the nerd, and we've got the last role, which can either go to a token minority, which I obviously noticed literally there were no people of color in this movie at all. But it went to, in this case, a fat person, because I guess that's next up on the rung. I don't know. So those were the people in the movie. Now, how would you say they did kind of as parodies of, those kind of characters in horror movies? How would you say they did, Dan?
I'd say they did pretty good as parodies. I mean, you've got the nerd who throughout the whole movie, he's trying to be like the cool guy, part of the cool group.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when I was dying at that Billy death scene, and Darren, the nerd Darren, is like,
yeah,
you made me cool. You invited me to this cool group, and I'm cool because of you. And like this whole like Nico said, death song, whatever, that was pretty funny. I think they do a pretty good job of kind of sticking to a lot of the tropes. And like you mentioned, Justin, with the the jock character with his dad not accepting him until he is first string, I think they did a pretty good job with it.
I mean, Nico, I'm sure you picked up on it where, kind of similar to Nightmare on Elm Street, the final girl in this one, her dad is the sheriff.
Yeah.
It feels like their dad is always the sheriff in those kinds of movies. And what did you think about kind of the parody roles?
To be honest, this is something that I only picked up on really upon having this discussion with you all. Like in talking through it, I was able to, separate myself from it just a little bit more clearly. I saw this, for context, much more recently than I normally do for movies for this podcast. I usually watch them a little early, so this is just really fresh in my mind. But I was honestly just so taken back by the complete absurdity of the subject matter that at the time it didn't really register for me. It's there. And for other people, I'm totally sure it will and has, as evidenced by, you here. But it's something that I was just sort of caught up enjoying the movie against my own just surprise to notice.
I see. Now, real quick, I want to talk about one other thing. I want to talk the movie's villain. I want to talk Turkey. It's a double entendre. First off, given that I'm sure, the turkey was just like a puppet, how did it do as a villain? How'd you like the scenes with the turkey in it?
I liked them. I thought they were pretty funny. Turkey reminded me very much of Chucky.
Yes.
And those like one-liners, very irreverent. Yeah, right. A lot of times I liked his one-liners. I liked the random ways that he would kill people, and just all of a sudden there'd be a gun in his wing or something like, whatever, or radioactive turkey near the end. Though sometimes I feel like the movie just kind of went a little too over the top. They're like, oh, this would be fucking hilarious. So they did it, except sometimes like, I feel like you did too much. Like some of the more crude sexual scenes, like I feel like it would be funny to reference or like to mention or like do a little bit, but they like go all the way in, and it's pun intended. And it's like, all right, like I didn't need to see like that much, like if you had like backed off a little bit, I think I would have found it even funnier than it was. But Turkey himself, I thought was pretty funny.
Agreed. I thought the turkey was very reminiscent of, villains like Chucky or even like Freddy a little bit, where I remember the turkey at one point, remarks on the idiocy of them for even buying the disguise in the first place that he was wearing as the father. And it was kind of an instance of the phrasing I was talking about, but like, kind of in spite of that, like, put that through my Justin filter. And then I was like, did he just play that straight for a quick second there? Did he just be like, yeah, I'm literally a turkey wearing this. How did you fall for this? Like, I was like, that is pretty comical. I also thought that the turkey, funny enough, kind of stuck to what he was supposed to do. Like, he literally was only supposed to kill white people, and that's the only people he killed. There also no one else in the movie, like I said, so he didn't have any other choices, but he literally stuck to it. But like, I feel like the story could also have been like a little bit bullshit. And I don't know, man, just like everything around the turkey, I felt like he was the centerpiece, and his scenes were the best, hands down. Like, I think those are the greatest scenes in the movie. But Nico, I know you said it, you maybe don't like Chucky as much. You like the turkey more?
Yeah, no, wholeheartedly. I was enjoying this movie in ways that I think the director of Chucky, insert name here, wanted me to.
That's fair. Y'all ready for the what would you do?
Nope.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, I have to ask, of the characters that were given, the 5 main characters, who are we? Been a minute since I asked this one, but who are we most like? If we had to pick, who are we most like?
You're Darren, Justin. I'm sorry.
I'm Darren. Why am
You're
I the
Darren.
nerd? Whoa, I hit the gym more than both of you guys.
You do, for sure. But like your vigor for life and your enthusiasm for all things is only matched by that one character.
Wow. Y'all couldn't even give me Billy, huh? Y'all couldn't even do that.
You're taking a lot of offense to this. He's not a bad character. He's the one who figured out how to kill him.
Yeah.
He is?
He's the one who educated them about him.
Do you remember that scene at the start where he was like, I'm going to get laid. Oh my God, guys, I'm going to get laid in this van with someone in this van right now.
You're going to have sex with someone in this car. We're going to get so wasted. All right.
All right, I will take Darren. But if I'm Darren, Nico, who are you?
Fuck, I'd have no idea.
I feel like you only have really one choice.
What's that?
I feel like you're like a mix of Billy and Allie. And so I'm trying to determine where on the axis you fall more. I think you're more of a glutton.
Yeah, that's fair.
The get more food from the kitchen scene is definitely a Nico move.
Yeah. I feel like we could be doing some heavy research on this turkey, and then Nico would be like, I'm kind of hungry. I'll be back.
Yeah.
And just like go get some stuff. But to be fair, Nico would also probably be the guy who knew where the book was that would have the turkey in it. But last but not least, Dan. Dan's Kristen, is he not? I feel like the jock isn't Dan. Dan's not a jock. Kristen made some pretty logical choices.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I would mistake my father for a turkey, but
Okay.
You know.
I didn't say these were perfect, but Dan, we're just gonna say you didn't have your glasses on at that time.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, there you go. So, let's say we're going back to an unnamed town in Northern Virginia, and nope. So let's say our car breaks down in the middle of the night. We're the outdoorsy type. We're not, but some of us are. And we decide to just, spend the night in a spot and we'll get back home the next morning. And let's say, Dan, you see the turkey, right?
Mm-hmm.
How would you tell us you saw the turkey? Like, what would you say?
I would say, guys, remember when we watched that movie, ThanksKilling? Yeah, I saw that.
Nico, what would your reaction be?
I think I'd be excited at that point, honestly.
Oh.
Let's fucking go!
Fair enough. I would probably say the same shit. I'd be like, all right, let's rock. So we already know how to kill it. But let's say maybe things change a little bit. And I kind of answered this question already, but who's decoding the mathematical equations to solve this?
Bonner.
Oh, true.
Yeah. We just take a picture of it and send it to him?
Yeah.
That's fair enough. And last but not least, who do you think would be the one to kill the turkey between the three of us? Like, who has more ire for the turkey?
See, I would say you, Justin, but I feel like you would have gotten killed earlier on.
Potentially, yeah. I feel like I would have tried to square up with it 1v1.
Yeah.
And it would stun lock you or some shit.
There you go, bro. I hate when they do that.
Yeah.
So is it you, Nico, or is it you, Dan?
I feel like Nico.
And only then, just by process of elimination, I'm not really the most wrathful person here.
Fair enough. And I guess if you could quickly devise a plan. So let's say we're, sneaking up on the turkey in his home. We've got some rope. We've got some fire. And we know we have to set him on fire.
Well, I would use the fire.
What? We're just Prometheus up in this bitch.
If I have a choice between rope and fire and I have to burn him, I think there's only one choice to make.
Okay, well, there's not really, because in the movie they chose the rope instead of the fire.
That was to contain him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask, would you contain him?
But they didn't have a fire.
They had a lighter.
Okay, a lighter is different than just fire. I thought you meant like the fire
Pure
element,
unbridled energy.
like a fucking firebender over here.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was talking to some firebenders over here. So,
Yeah, you fucking rope bender.
hey, very similar. Very similar. But, hey, yo, real talk, like, just if you're going camping or anything, like, a rope is mad useful, bro. Like, you can use it to, like, scale up, like, a cliff.
Yeah, how are you going to use this scale up a cliff?
Bruh, you lasso? You know how to tie a lasso? You need me to show you how to
Do
do
you
that?
know how to tie? What are you going to lasso to? The cliff? How the fuck you lasso a cliff?
Bro, you lasso a piece of the rope.
No, you lasso a rope. You use the
lasso a
rope
piece
to
of the
lasso
rope.
a rope.
No, you lasso a piece of the rope and then you hang it on like a rope.
Ropeception.
Not a rope, a rock, a rock.
Another rope.
No, you hang it on a rock. And then you
Bro,
scale
you're on a
up,
cliff.
bro.
How the fuck you going to hang it from a rock on a cliff? Cliffs are vertical, bro.
Is
I'm
this
trying to
movie
tell
a
you.
Strand type movie?
No, listen, I was voted Trinidadian most likely to be Johnny Quest 5 times in a row, okay? So you need to watch
That's
your
a
tone.
very specific
By who?
competition.
Your sister?
I'm letting you know right now. I am out here.
Did you vote for yourself, bro?
I'm Johnny Quest and Haji, bitch. But no,
Double trouble.
indeed. Well, that was a what would you do audience. You probably weren't ready for that. So now let's talk about the critic review, shall we?
Oh,
How do
God.
y'all think this did?
Okay.
Not well.
I'm going to say not well, but I just want to share part of my own viewing experience because this was on Amazon. Spoiler to anyone who wants to go and watch this. This shit has 4.2 stars, which is buck wild to me out of 5. So if that is anything like what the critics say, I will just lose my goddamn mind.
You said that was 4.2 out of 5?
Yeah.
That's really ironic.
Fucking high, right?
Well, believe it or not, there is no critic review on Rotten Tomatoes for this movie. But the
Beans.
audience has given it a 42 out of 100.
Which is not a 4 point. Well, no, I see what you're saying. I got you.
And on IMDb, it's got a 4.2 out of 10.
Wow.
Wow.
I feel like I might have accidentally just like awoken a demon or something with that. But
Oh,
like,
shit. Turkey's coming for you.
I
Just
know.
unlock some new math, bro.
So now is the time. The time is upon us, lads. Where do we rate this one?
Did you know that 42 is the answer to life, universe, and everything?
So not 69.
No, 42. You
Nah.
ever seen or read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Oh, yeah, I've read Planetfall. I know it's part of it. Yeah, see, that's a deep cut. You poser. You poser. Throwing them out. I'm lassoing the truth.
Testing this man's cred. You're lassoing the truth? Is the truth another rope, Justin?
All right, listen. When next you need me to like lasso like a vine or like lasso a snake, like you're not going to find me, bro.
Because that snake would have gotten you already.
Honestly, real talk.
Y'all don't know me, bro. Y'all don't know me like that.
Cowboy busting.
Nope, don't like that. Soon as you said it. I'll go first.
Yeehaw, motherfucker.
I
God.
liked this movie so much more than I thought I was going to. I had a blast watching this. And for context, this is also just over an hour. You could watch this and it will be done before you know it. It has problems for sure. It's not a fucking masterpiece by any measure, but it was just so fucking enjoyable to me. I'm going to literally double up on the viewers and give it an 84.
Wow! I apologize for whoever has to mix that. But, whoa!
Your move, motherfuckers.
I'm weak. So, I'm going to keep it real with you. This movie has a lot of problems. And I think this movie was, in my perspective, a step not clever enough. I think even for the budget, even for everything they were on, I think if just a little bit more time and like a little bit more thought had gone into like thinking about the comedy. There was one particular cartoon segment regarding a Native American that really rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I could not forgive, but like I could see, okay, you know, like some of the terms and phrases they were using, common parlance to the ear. Like kind of something we look back on now with like kind of like a cringe, like Dan said, but it is true to the time period. But then there was like a segment I was like, nah, even back in 08, people wasn't doing that. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I think the movie definitely has funny bits. Don't get me wrong. And to be completely honest, this movie would be like 10 times better if it was just like a series of clips on YouTube. Just with like all the comedy scenes, I think that would be a blast.
Honestly, yeah.
That would be even better. But I just think it's not a great movie for me. It has funny bits, don't get me wrong. Like I did laugh multiple times in the movie. Like I did laugh. I never laugh in movies, really. And yeah, I thought it was great in terms of the comedy aspect, but the rest of it really brought it down. I'm going to give this one like a 50.
I'm there with you on it. I'm giving it a 50. I thought there were definitely times that were really funny to me, but you know, you said like, I think that they should have thought a little bit more. I think that in some parts they should have thought more, and some parts they should have thought less.
That's fair.
So I think that if there had been a more even exchange, I guess, I don't know.
Equivalent exchange.
Yeah, right. I think I would have enjoyed it more, but there were definite parts that I had a lot of fun watching. So I think a 50 for me.
All right. Nico, you obviously recommend this one with such a high review.
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed in myself for how high I'm reviewing this one. I'm not going to front.
That's okay.
That's all right. Dan, where you at with this one in terms of recommendation?
I don't think so. I think if you're in the mood for a Thanksgiving horror movie, good luck finding something else. Sorry.
I am there with you as well, Dan. Unfortunately, this one's going to be a pass from me. I just think there's too much wrong with this one. Unfortunately, I can't recommend this to folks at home. This would ruin your goddamn Thanksgiving. Imagine you pull out, you know what I mean, I don't know, whatever food it is you're about to go eat. Like, imagine you pull out, like, you know what I'm saying, like the curry goat, for example. You about to sit down with that
Thanksgiving dish.
Lash that down. And then all of a sudden, nah, ThanksKilling is what's on TV. You'd be disappointed.
I don't know. If it was on TV, I think I would watch
Bro.
it just for the novelty of that movie being on TV.
All right. You know what I mean. It's going to be a no from me. So it's not going to get the Golden Seal. It's not going to be eligible for any of our other awards.
No.
So it is going to be getting a pass on the front for DOTD. But before we go, in the spirit of the holiday, I always feel like we need a little more connection with the audience. So let me ask you right now, what is your favorite meal, your favorite food, your favorite thing to eat for Thanksgiving? What is it?
What's yours, Justin?
So I did some thinking long and hard. I thought about maybe going to classic turkey because I do eat like a ton of turkey. In my house, we always bust out the turkey, you know, oven or whatever like that. Every year I try to find the same PDF that I find every year online to tell me like what I'm supposed to cook this turkey at in this thing. But I decided I couldn't be the turkey. I just can't do it. I eat a lot of it, but I don't. Low key, and I realize this is not like a traditional Thanksgiving dish by any means, but no one's going to know what this is. But I just like some dalpuri roti and some curry duck. Yo. Wow. I don't live with my mom anymore. I don't get to eat a lot of Trinidadian foods. I only know how to make a handful of Trini foods, really. I should be better about that. But there's something about that just like reminds me being home, whatever else. And if I had to pick a second, I don't know why it is, again, but I really dig like mashed potatoes. I like mashed potatoes a lot, like an ungodly amount. But it's got to be the curry duck. Not duck curry. Holy shit. If anybody messages me about duck curry, you'll fucking find out. But no, curry duck is awesome. Nico, Dan, how about one of you?
I'm going to share your love for those spuds. I just love mashed potatoes so much. But in terms of the protein, I fuck with ham.
Okay. Which one is rank 1? Which one's rank 2? Is it potato?
I think it's going to be the potato. Just love carbs.
Fair enough. And the ham is like second to that then.
Mm-hmm.
It's right below.
Yeah.
And audience, I will say I have had Nico spuds before. They are pretty good. So
That's
he knows
facts,
how to prepare.
Though. He does. Yeah.
But Dan, we come to you finally. What's up?
So I think my favorite dish, kind of go along the lines of you, Justin, is going to be tarhunya, which is a Hungarian egg-based noodle type thing.
Yo.
Super good. And it's just addicting. It's very like simplistic. It's just like noodle, but like it just tastes fucking good and you just keep eating it. Yeah.
That's fair enough. Well, we would love to hear from you, dear listener. If you want to talk to us about this movie, if you liked it, disliked it, or if you just want to tell us what you eat for Thanksgiving, hit us up. We're on Facebook, Don't Open That Door. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at DOTD Horror. Plus, don't forget, you can check out everything we've done on our website. That's dotdhorror.com. But till then, take care of one another. Have a great Thanksgiving. If you celebrate that, if you perhaps don't, then don't. But just have a great day. Have a great time. As always, take care of the people around you. And of course, dear listener, as always, don't open that door. Bye.